Feeling great, Zooks. It's Thursday already, and that means it's time to check in with our good friend Sheree Clark from Fork in the Road. And last week you got a home run with your zucchini with the real thin, that was like pasta-like.
Spiralizing.
The spiralized ones. You had two different thicknesses there. You had the one that was kind of like sushi, but it was not sushi. It was
Zucchini.
And so we said, okay, she did a great job with this, but can you do it again? Can you hit it out of the park again?
I can totally hit it out of the park again.
With the bat like this, you can, okay? By the way, Brad Edwards, the chief meteorologist over next door, grew this in his backyard. And this is
a zucchini. It is, okay, because it's one of those, it's so big, it's like, is this really what I think it is? And it's just unbelievable. And he has amazing gardening tips, as you give us wonderful tips on how to take something this out of our garden and create some delicious, beautiful, our plates today are absolutely gorgeous. And this is all zucchini?
Mostly zucchini. There's a few other things on there. There's obviously a few
now,
tomatoes.
This obviously is a very large zucchini, but average size zucchini, is that what you have over there? The ones you would most commonly see?
This this would be a medium to large zucchini, this one.
So let's compare these two here.
Yeah, a little bit of a difference.
Yeah. So medium to large. And then the smaller ones are, like probably half that size. Here's the thing to know about this. It's not necessarily always that you want to buy the most robust zucchini.
It's impressive, but not necessarily if you're trying to cook with it.
Exactly. So the little ones are actually more tender, and I find them to be more sweet. And that is true with most members of the vegetation world.
Okay.
I usually like to try to buy the smaller ones, unless you have a specific reason. A specific reason might be, for example, you wanted to make like burger size or burger-looking appetizers. So you would slice that because it's bigger around in diameter, and you can do that with it.
More girth, yeah.
Exactly, yes. So for example, with what I did today with one of your little treats, I made essentially what is a sandwich. I hollowed out a small zucchini, and then I filled it with salad. So that it's a way of eating your salad without using a fork. It's a way of getting a little bit more vegetables in you. And all I did was remove the seed bed from that small zucchini. Now here's the thing. In that large zucchini, there's going to be a really large, really wide seed bed. So if I took that out and tried to do the same thing, first of all, it's pretty big to put your mouth around.
It's pretty massive, yeah.
Yes. And then second, all of those seeds are going to be coming out of there, and so then you've got this big cavern. That might be good, but then the flesh of the zucchini that's left behind is going to be a little bit tougher.
All right.
Okay.
So
good to know.
The skin also gets thicker. So that is a great way, though, however, to have like a sandwich.
Now, what did you put in the salad then?
That is a kale salad. It's got, and this is actually a store-bought kale salad. What I want people to do is to remember it doesn't have to be hard. This is the time of year you buy a zucchini, hollow it out, get a store-bought salad, boom, you're done.
So this was in the bag?
Yeah, no, I bought it at the deli, at Gateway, in the local market.
They have a wonderful
and it's
kale
a really nice, it's a raw kale salad.
So it's prepared then?
It's
the whole thing prepared, not just the actual leaves themselves?
Correct.
Oh,
yep,
okay.
Yep.
Okay,
and so
got it.
they do a really nice job. They used shredded carrots. There's a little bit of radicchio in there, and they put sunflower seeds. I like their recipe, and my point here is it's summer. We're on the go. I want you to eat healthy, but you don't have to make everything from scratch.
Right.
So use a mix of things
That's really
fresh from
good.
the garden, and pair them with things that you like from the deli. But rather than doing that with a slice of bread, you're getting away, you're not having carbs, you're avoiding wheat if you're gluten-free, all of those things.
Adding extra crunch in there as well.
That is really good.
Keeping it fun, but keeping it simple. So a great way to use all those zucchinis of the smaller variety if people happen to be
keeping it economical. Because when we buy things at the deli, the cost is a little bit more. But when you buy things at farmers market or grow your own, it's cheap. So you're kind of dollar cost averaging, and that's the best thing. So we're healthy, we're managing our money and that type of thing.
So what else can we do with these zucchinis?
Okay, well, first of all, know that zucchini is from a family called summer squash.
Okay.
And there are other members of the zucchini family. This, for example, is a varietal of zucchini called a cue ball.
That is?
Yeah. So isn't that wonderful?
That's very cute. Like I would think it from the pumpkin family, but I guess that's also a type of squash.
Yes, exactly. They're all squash. That's a winter squash. This is a summer squash. And the difference is the water content and obviously what time of year they grow. And this one is really handy for, like we were talking about, maybe using that that as a slice to make like mini pizzas,
Right.
this is perfect for that because the seed bed is less dense, and that would be great for that type of thing. Great for garnishes, great for if you want that type of shape.
Or you take the stem off, you get a bunch of them, you can play pool with them.
You could do that, yeah. It might be a little tough. Yeah, I don't know if it would. Well, it wouldn't go down the pocket.
There you go.
So
okay.
there you go. These are other varietals. They probably have names. If they do, I don't know what they are. But you can see there's just different colors of flesh. Makes a different kind of zucchini. They'll all have slightly different tastes.
They will.
And you'll be able to tell those. They're not distinct enough to me that they would make a huge difference in a recipe, but they're interesting.
Now, if you go to the store to buy these, are there different price points for these, or is it usually just get these zucchini and whatever you have, you have?
Well, this is a patty pan squash, and it's a kissing cousin to zucchini. The prices will vary usually based on yield, like how big the crop was and that type of thing, and demand.
Okay.
So these are just some quick examples. So what I did for you, because I know how much you like chips.
I do.
I made
love
some
chips.
zucchini chips, and that's what's present there. Really, really simple to do if you have a dehydrator. I thinly sliced the chips in a mandolin. I made a 3mm slice, and people who have mandolins or who have food processors with blades know what that is. You could do it with a knife, but for me, even though I have pretty good knife skills, it's not easy to be that precise with
the
all of them.
mandolins are slick if you
They're
don't have one.
great.
You need
Just be
one.
careful with them, especially when you're cleaning them. So
That's really good.
that's a 3mm slice. Now, because I like to be transparent, I want everybody to know I'm not perfect. And so when I was making those for you earlier in the week, I had a little muff up. So underneath the pile of zucchini chips, there's some 2mm chips, and you'll be able to see them. They're actually
really,
the
really
green
thin.
ones. They're
Here,
really thin.
You can see through this.
Yes, those are really paper thin. So they
are.
taste fine, but they're not, to me, as grounding.
They don't give you the chip satisfaction.
Yeah,
You want a little bit of a.
This almost has, to be honest with you, the thicker one almost has a potato chip sensation to
Yes,
it. Yeah.
exactly.
So what did you season them with?
I used a little bit of sea salt, the tiniest bit of olive oil, like we're talking 1/4 teaspoon for 2 whole zucchini, just enough so that the zucchini chips wouldn't dry into like a powder.
Okay.
And then on the fatter ones, I put a tiny bit of nutritional yeast. Just
Now, do you use a brush and brush them on?
No,
you just
I
drip it
put them
on
in a
there?
bowl and then just
Toss 'em.
Toss them. Yep.
Okay.
And that's another reason why the really, really skinny ones were breaking down.
Got it.
Because when I tossed it, they kind of disintegrated.
All right,
okay.
what do you have next?
Really,
one
really
then?
tasty.
Patty pan squash with some hummus. I just wanted you to be able to taste what a patty pan squash tastes like, very much like a zucchini. It's got a little bit creamier of a texture, and it doesn't have the seed bed at all that the zucchini does.
And which one is this?
That would be one of these.
Okay.
And you have the green patty pan. The yellow tastes slightly different.
good.
Really nice. Really great on a crudité tray.
Kind of a firm mushroom consistency.
Yes, exactly. And it would be great
That's a good way
as
to
a
put it.
substitute for that in a recipe. So finally,
Oh.
you know, I brought you a cocktail here. Your cocktail is a non-alcoholic beverage, but it has, not surprisingly, zucchini juice in it. Because we think of zucchini as being something that we eat or you saute or whatever. It's great for juice. It's got a high water content.
Okay.
It's got a pretty benign flavor. It's not a real pronounced flavor. So anything else you put with it will be carried in it. So it's got lemon. I put some apple. There's zucchini, and then the only other fruits or vegetables that are in there are scraps from everything else I've made during the week. So I know.
We got
You're
a
my
scrap
friends.
drink
You
going
got
on
the
here.
She calls
scraps.
this the kitchen disposal. No, just kidding.
The kitchen sink cocktail. So I think it's really nice.
Well, it is nice.
Isn't that great?
It's very refreshing.
So when you're making a salad and you cut, like when you, for example, when you cut the zucchini and you'll cut this end off, you won't use
Is
that.
there celery in there too?
There's a tiny bit of celery leaves, because I didn't
yep.
use the celery leaves.
Yep.
Yeah. So when you cut this off because you're going to be making something else, throw it into a bowl in your refrigerator, call it your scrap bowl, and then when you make your juice, just throw your scraps in. There's no waste.
Good idea.
Yeah. So that, and then you
go.
bring it on the show and have people
Drink it and then laugh all the way
And then you
home
realize,
saying, I can't believe they drank
my scraps.
All right, so people want to
keep
follow
eating
along
these.
with
They're
what
really
you're
good.
doing. How do they keep up with you?
You would go to fork-road.com, or you would contact me via email at info@fork-road.com.
Yeah, well, you did it again. This is another home run. So you got 2 games,
I
2
love the
home
chips.
runs. Good job out of you. So again, there you have it, folks. You're going to have these sitting on your shelf or on your desk at work. Your fellow employees will probably be bringing them over to you, and now you have some ideas what you can do with them.
Perfect.
Wonderful. We will be right back. You're watching CW Iowa Live in West Des Moines.